हेलो दोस्तों, दिस इज भारत कुमार एंड यू आर वाचिंग माय चैनल निर्मल इन्फो अपडेट्स।
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left.
Despite reports of a fresh Chinese buildup in Galwan, the Indian Army is now in the commanding position in the region as it is now controlling both the strategic heights and the valley. When it specifically comes to Patrol Point 14, while both India and China had agreed to move back by 900 meters, the Indian Army is taking no chances considering the unreliability of the Chinese. Topographically, the region is a narrow gorge which gives India a significant advantage as it reportedly controls the heights. This means that the Chinese troops can be stopped if they attempt to cross over into the Indian side of the LAC. Patrol Point 14 was the site of the violent clashes between India and China on June 15. China, on the other hand, has been building a new camp close to Patrol Point 14 on their side of the LAC. The Chinese mobilization also includes building new roads measurable for low-clearance vehicles. China, meanwhile, is also attempting to open new fronts in the Doulat, Oldy, DBO, and Depsang sectors. The Indian Army has already mobilized its troops to counter any transgressions by the Chinese. Depsang near strategic Doulat Oldy airstrip may become a new front for India-China standoff. Amid rising tensions, the Chinese army appears to be making another attempt at shifting the line of actual control, LAC, further west of the disputed boundary. The Indian Express reported today the Chinese army has crossed the border in Depsang Plains, which is another strategic area to the north. According to the report, the Chinese army has moved and deployed troops in large numbers up to a place called Y Junction, or Bottleneck, on the Depsang Plains. This is around 30 kilometers southeast from the important airstrip of Doulat Oldy, DBO. In April 2013 also, the Chinese had pitched tent at the Bottleneck, which derives its name from the rocky formation which prevents vehicular movement across the Depsang Plains. Back then in 2013, the standoff between Indian and Chinese forces had lasted 3 weeks until status quo ante was restored after diplomatic talks. The Bottleneck is located at around 18 kilometers on the Indian side of the LAC. However, the Chinese claim that the line lies another 5 kilometers further west. This place is 7 km to the northeast of Ladakhi town Burst. Burst is located on the 255 km Darkship Doulat Oldy, DSDBO, road and also has an Indian Army post. The IE report said that the Indian Army's media wing has neither confirmed nor denied the Chinese movement in Depsang Plains. However, as per the report, those dealing with the situation believe that if China manages to link up from patrolling point 10, pages, -10, to pages, -13 via Bottleneck, it will be able to easily shift the LAC further west of the current Indian limited patrol in LOP. It will also deny India access to a significant part of the DBO airfield, and also bring the Chinese closer to the strategic DSDBO road. As preparation for a possible conflict with China in high, mountainous areas grows, the Indian Army for years has not been able to procure high-altitude weaponry to face China front and as it has built up its resources for the Pakistan front until the deadly clash with Chinese in Galwan Valley of Ladakh. Indian Army's Armored Directorate a few years back had identified high-altitude weapons systems like light battle tank and ultralight howitzer, ULH, and light combat helicopter which it could need in case of war with China, but procurement of those has been stuck in the red tape of bureaucracy. Indian Army procured BAE System developed M-777 ultralight howitzer, ULH, from the United States recently, but the purchase was a limited quantity and to equip its forces from Ladakh, Sikkim, Arunachal to Assam it could require nearly 5 times more ULH in its inventory, due to which local private sector company like BHARAT Forge had developed Mark 155mm/39 caliber ULH and truck-mounted Mark 155mm/39 caliber ULH for the Army, but Army is yet to test the system or clear it for procurement. Post-Declan standoff with China, the Indian Army had planned procurement of light tank after China tested and deployed its homegrown light tank called Ksinkington in border areas with India. Currently, India has deployed the Russian-made T-72 tanks in the region, but it is still too heavy for the mountainous regions and were made for the plain and desert warfare, due to which Army had proposed procurement of a 22-ton light tank that's capable of operating at heights of more than 3,000 meters in hilly terrain, equipped with a 105 mm main gun and a 1,000 horsepower engine. Many key public-private sector companies have shown interests in the development of light tanks since it opportunity for them to enter tank market, but Army is yet to even finalize specification of such tanks, with many independent defense analysts claiming delays are to make way for Russian-developed Sprut SDM tanks. HAL developed light combat helicopter, LCH, has been developed especially for high-altitude warfare and has been extensively tested by the Air Force and Army in the same region where possible conflict with China can happen. LCH has been granted IOC certification and production facility for LCH is also ready, but deal for initial pre-production LCH is still stuck in the Army's plan for a fleet of 100 plus LCH looks like a distant dream. Light battle tank and ultralight howitzer, ULH, and light combat helicopter were marked as the critical system that will be required by the Indian Army for high-altitude warfare, but little or no progress has been made to procure them in large scale yet, even when Chinese side has showcased similar weapons system in the region. The Army needs to get its act together and procure them in a war-footing pace. After the government allowed the armed forces to go in for emergency procurements to do away with shortages of critical equipment, the Indian Army is planning to place an order for acquiring more Excalibur precision-guided artillery ammunition which can hit targets at 50 km range. The Excalibur ammunition was inducted last year by the Army to acquire the capability to hit enemy positions close to populated areas without causing collateral damage on the western sector under emergency financial powers. Now the financial powers have been again given to the armed forces, and there are plans to place repeat orders for the Excalibur ammunition used by the ultralight howitzers, which can be deployed with ease on high-altitude mountains, defense sources told AMI. After the last year's orders, the Army had started inducting the ammunition from America by October timeframe and was fired at targets with pinpoint accuracy. The development is taking place when the Chinese have also placed their artillery in rear positions along the line of actual control along the eastern Ladakh sector. The vice chiefs of the three services have been given the financial powers up to Rs 500 crore per project to acquire the required weapon systems under fast-track procedures needed to fill whatever shortcomings or requirement is felt. The requirement of granting this power again to the forces was felt by the government after the Chinese aggression in eastern Ladakh, in a way they have deployed their troops in large numbers there along the line of actual control, LAC. Similar financial powers were given to the armed forces after the Uri attack and the Balakot aerial strikes against Pakistan.